Hi everyone and welcome back to Artful. In this tutorial we're going to be having another look at lino cutting. You may remember in our last lino cutting tutorial that I near enough destroyed our plate of lino. Well, this week I'm going to be showing you how to use that existing print and build on top of it with some extra colours. So let's have a look. To begin with, I'm adding a bit more detail into the lino cut that we covered in the last tutorial. So if you haven't watched that video, I recommend watching that one first, otherwise this one might not make a lot of sense. But the link for that will be in the description. I'm using one of our thinner blades to carve out the bark detail into the body of the tree. Now if you've never drawn bark or any kind of wood texture, let me tell you a little fact about nature. Parallel, straight lines don't really exist in nature, so when you're drawing this texture, try and keep your lines a bit loose. It's also important to consider that, unlike in the last tutorial where everything you carved away would show the white paper underneath, here, because you're printing on top of an existing colour, everything you carve away will show that base colour. So this detail of the tree that we're carving away is going to show the red layer underneath. This means that when we print the blue on top of it, we'll have a nice blue covering and all the detail will be this red highlight underneath it. You can see that I'm also carving away the edge of the trees in the background, so when we print it, it will show off that red highlight. I really like that red colour that we printed in the last tutorial, so I don't want to hide it completely when I print a different colour on top of it. When you are reworking your print, you really have to think about what areas you want to be more detailed and what areas you want to be completely block colour. So here you'll see underneath the tree I'm adding some blades of grass because I think it would look quite interesting to have red blades of grass peeking through the dark blue base of the next print. I'm adding some dark blue ink onto our acetate so we can get a nice even distribution of the ink onto our roller. When you peel that away, you should be able to see a nice dark blue covering with some red details poking out underneath it. This blue layer looks a bit fake now, so probably should have used a bit more ink. Next, we're going to be adding our gold layer. Now, for my plate, I didn't really want the golds to overtake the nice red and blue tones that I've already made, and I wanted it more to just be a highlight of gold light hitting the tree. So for this to happen, I need to carve away most of my lino plate. You'll see that I'm using one of the bigger blades to carve out most of the tree, just leaving a small bit of the plate uncarved so when we add the gold ink it will look like a nice golden highlight on the side of the tree. I'm also adding some more blades of grass detailing in the bottom of the print, so hopefully with our final print we should have a lovely mixture of different tones, textures and colours. Next, take your gold ink and apply it to your acetate. You'll see here that I've actually taped it down this time so it's easier to roll. Apply that ink to your roller and then take one of your red and blue prints, align it perfectly with your new gold plate, and hey presto! You've made a nice layered lino cut image with 3 different colours of ink. I hope this tutorial proves just how interesting lino cut can be when you keep stacking colour upon colour. I only showed you about 3 or 4 different layers, but there are artists out there who do about 20 to 40, and you can really keep going just as long as the lino cut lasts. So let us know in the comments how you got on doing your lino cuts, or if there's just any of the techniques or processes that you'd like us to cover. I'd be really interested to see what everyone's made, so please tag me on Instagram and your creations at Artful Box. Like and subscribe to our YouTube to see some of our earlier videos. And why not treat yourself and visit artful.co.uk. Thank you very much again for watching and I'll see you soon.